and welcome back to my talk show. Let's talk about with Richa. And today I have an amazing woman who gives opportunities to every female entrepreneurs as far as I know. She's an amazing speaker. And Kathryn, welcome to my show.
Hello, Rich. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, I love that you're here. I'm so honored that you said yes to be one of our guests because you are an energy bomb. And as I said, I've seen you speak and host summits, and it was just so, incredible experience to be a part of your summit. But before we go further, I hope you can introduce yourself to my audience and tell me a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey.
Well, I'd be delighted to. So, right now, I call myself the founder of Speakers with Heart, which is a community of women, coaches, healers, and on purpose solopreneurs who are coming together, collaborating to share their messages. And as you just said, Richa, I host summits. I've got a big summit series coming up in May. I also do twice a month free masterminds for them and trainings. But I haven't always been here. This hasn't always been what I have done.
We all have
So,
a journey, don't we?
yes, we sure do. And so, what I'd like to share briefly is my journey as a solopreneur started about 24 years ago-ish. In 2001, I launched a private practice in Maryland as a dance movement therapist.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah. And so that was really great. And I had no idea what I was doing, Richa. Well, prior to launching my practice, I got books out of the library on how to do marketing and how to attract clients, how to use the law of attraction, that sort of thing. Because for those of you who weren't around in 2001, we didn't have the internet resources that we have now. I believe the internet was out there. I
Yes,
think I had an
it was.
email address in
Yes.
2007.
It was out there, but it wasn't, so elaborate and fancy. The pages were very, very, what do you call it, typewriting font, and it was boring pages. So the fancy
Yeah.
thing was not there. Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't even know if YouTube was up yet, and certainly the social media didn't come up for several years, and maybe even a decade. Anyhow, so things have changed a lot since I launched my career as a solopreneur, and but in those first few years, as I added skills, I became an integrative breath worker as well, which is a psychospiritual modality that uses breath for healing. And I was divinely inspired to call myself a manifestation coach,
wow.
because I had learned how to attract clients and I'd learned all about the law of attraction and all that stuff. So anyhow, I did that. I grew a successful, thriving practice in Maryland, and I started working with women solopreneurs and small business owners around 2006-ish. I did a workshop on
Mhm.
attracting clients, and I started to do some training here and there, but I didn't fully commit to my ideal clients as women entrepreneurs until 2017.
Mhm.
It grew and it grew. I got really clear that we are my favorite people to hang out with.
Nice.
I love working with women solopreneurs, and and so I like to say that I'm an on purpose solopreneur, which means to me that I am continually looking, tuning into what is my purpose, what am I called to do. And a few years ago, I got connected to what I call my future on purpose self. This is the future me who's doing what I'm here to do full out without constraint, like really doing it. And so part of the last several years of my entrepreneurial journey has been about connecting with her, listening to her, asking her what is it that she's doing so that I can become her because I love my future on purpose self. She's amazing and happy and feels purposeful and she's successful, but she also just feels good about herself and the world. And so I want to keep becoming her. And one of the reasons why I am doing Speakers with Heart is because when I tune into her and ask her about hosting the summits and running this community, she's like, yeah, that's what I do.
Mm,
So prior
mm.
to that, I was doing trainings and running what I call the Manifesting Clients Academy, because
Wow.
I love manifesting clients and teaching people about that. But when I would ask her, that's not her main focus. That's not what she does. So I had to shift,
Yeah.
and happily.
Yeah, I mean, that's very interesting what you're saying because when I talk to other coaches and especially female entrepreneurs who are in this field, in this industry, they say that they pivot and they have to change and they like that natural organic change that comes with time. Also because we kind of take in the clues from our client for what they need at what time they need it. It might be that in the future you're able to, do both, and you probably do already, you know.
What's interesting, Richa, is I just did an interview conversation with a speaker for my upcoming Loving Life Summit series. And she has spoken on something that's called the Shift Network. I know I've heard of it. You might have heard of it. They've done over the last decade or so, they've been summit hosts and do really high quality summits with well-known speakers. That's not my vision. But this woman's experience, it was really great. And she said to me that the conversation she and I had, was very different. She expressed gratitude because I'm coming from the place of I want my speakers to attract clients.
Correct.
That's my orientation. And their orientation is something different. They're wanting
Mm.
to share an impactful message. Is my story about it. One would have to talk to them to find out. Both are good, just different. And so the manifesting and attracting clients perspective follows me where I go because it's what I want for my people.
Yeah, yeah, and often is that's what uh, solopreneurs and female entrepreneurs are facing the challenge in that area, because that's where, because they're amazing in what they do when it comes to the sales part and attracting the right kind of clients. That's where they're kind of, I think there is a code missing. When they decode it, it works. So it's amazing the work that you do, and I I love what you said that okay, they do it differently, they have a different vision, and I believe an abundance mindset that it's space for everybody. There is a place for everybody. If everybody is guided and felt, follow their intuition for what they need to do, it's definitely a place for them as well in the industry. So I think I never
Absolutely.
think of other people as competitors, more often, companions, collaborating partners. So
Yeah, yeah, I'm all for seeing it as either collaborators or people who are opening the door for the industry. The more people who, I remember years ago, someone was talking about acupuncture because I lived in an area in Maryland where there was an acupuncture school. And someone said the more people who know about acupuncture, because people are out there talking about it, the more people who are going to be looking for an
for
acupuncturist.
true.
And that's fascinating to me because the business model is that in quotes, market gets saturated.
That's what
So
everybody thinks that it will be, but there's always new people in the industry who are looking for what we are giving. So I don't think, I've been a coach for 18 years. I still get clients, and it's the same thing because the new generation and different people move to different places. So I think what you're saying is very important. I think if you're doing something very unique and you are the kind of the pioneer of it, it might be a little bit difficult because then nobody have heard of it, and you have to inform everybody. You have to educate everybody in what you're doing. But if there are more
Yeah,
people doing it, then more people educating more people. So then it goes faster. So yeah, but
my that
yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry, that was my experience as a dance movement therapist. I mean, who has heard of dance movement therapy? A little bit more now than 25 years
Yes,
ago, but
yes.
still, it is not people aren't sitting there going, oh, I want to find a dance movement therapist.
They don't even know what that means,
25 years later,
Yeah.
it's still the same. Anyway, I interrupted you. I just felt like it was
No,
important.
no, no. It's a lovely conversation. But I am very excited to hear about your upcoming summits. Can you inform us a little bit about that? You mentioned that there's some summits coming up in May.
Yes, thank you so much for asking, Richa. I'm very excited about this because it's not just one summit, it's actually 9 summits. It's a summit series. I'm calling it the Loving Life Summit Series. It's for women who are on a personal growth journey, who want to love life more. And I've identified, at least for this summit, 9 different areas
Mm.
and they're half-day summits, so they're 5 hours. Not a long time for people to attend if they could attend the whole time, which is great. And
Yeah.
of course, there'll be VIP bundles where people could get the replays and the VIP gifts. And let me say a few of the names of the summits so you get an idea. One is Purpose Summit. So we get to explore purpose because I believe in order to love life, we need to feel purposeful.
Definitely.
And yeah, there's the healing your body, mind, and soul because we need to heal in order to love life. There's the self-care. There's a summit called the Entrepreneurial Woman Summit. So we'll have speakers talking about messages, good things that is useful for us women,
Mm.
solopreneurs and small business owners. And there's also a Money and Abundance Summit. So we'll learn more about money. So anyway, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm currently right now when we're recording this interviewing speakers, but I believe this may not air until closer to it. So
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so excited because I'm definitely going to sign up for as a speaker for the Money Abundance Summit. So yeah, because Kathryn, I love working with you. I just love your summit. The last one also, I just loved it. So definitely, people, we will share the links to everything around the video below above, and do go and check it out. But watch rest of the interview before you do it because I'm going to ask Kathryn some really, really, really good questions. So I understand that you are an energy bomb. You do so many things. I mean, 8 summits, that's not a joke,
9,
That's 9 summits.
9,
Oh my God.
9 have to, so yeah.
I'm gonna have
Mhm.
one summit and I'm almost exhausted, and you're gonna have 9 summits. It's gonna be awesome, but it's a lot. And you have your business and everything. How do you actually define success?
Okay, I love that question. And I think for me at this time in my life, success is about enjoying my life. It's
Hmm.
about feeling good, wanting to get out of bed in the morning, feeling purposeful, loving life. I mean, seriously, it's why I call this summit the Loving Life Summits or the series, the Loving Life Summit series, because it's so important to me. It's my personality default is to go into depression. I used to feel depressed when I was younger. And so success is about loving life. And for me, part of that, as I've spoken earlier, has to do with moving forward on my purpose path and
Mm,
feeling like my life has meaning and that I'm
mm,
making a difference. So success for me includes being on purpose, having a thriving, successful business where I get to do what I enjoy, like hosting summits and working with wonderful women, coaches, healers, and on-purpose solopreneurs, and making what I like to call a life-sustaining, abundant income. So you're never going to hear me say get 6 figures out of working with me or 7 figures. Not that there's anything wrong with 6 figures or 7 figures or 5 figures or whatever you want for your income, because money is great. And I'm all about a life-sustaining abundant income. What does that look like for you? What does it look like for me? And that's what I think enables us to really enjoy life and have the money circulate around the planet.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Okay, so it's amazing what you're saying because it's very few I'm it's an answer that many people give, that they don't measure the success with money directly, but how they feel. And so I love this question myself because it means so many different things. And it was so interesting when you said in this time of my life, because it means so many different things depending on where you are in life, and what you're experiencing at that time. So, you do so many things, and as I said, it's not easy to host so many summits and attend to your clients and so on. How do you manage your time?
I appreciate that question. And as I was preparing for this conversation, you had shared with me you might be asking that question. I realized that part of my shift into doing the Loving Life Summit series is coming out of my inquiry that's been going on for the last couple of years about how to do time better.
Yeah.
Because I used to feel like I had all these things pulling on me, and I would go from this training to that summit to this. I got to promote this, and now I got to promote that, and it was like it was not a quality of life that I wanted to have.
No. Mm.
So I actually went on a sabbatical. Well, I didn't go on a sabbatical, Richa. The end of December, I thought, oh, I'm going to work on all of my business goals and get started with getting ready for my next summit. And a week went by and I couldn't work on it. Like I couldn't make myself work on it. Another week went by and I couldn't do it. And I said, goodness sakes, I don't know what's going on, but I can't make myself. So I'm just going to call this a sabbatical. So it was probably close to a month, but around 2 weeks into it, maybe a little bit longer, I had the inspiration to do the summit series with the 9 different summits. And what I'm discovering about it for me, because I do love hosting the summits so much, I'm really looking forward to the month of May. And I love talking to the speakers and interviewing them, which I'm getting to do prior to that or got to do. But also it's condensing all the little things that I have to do. So instead of spreading out all the different things for if I hosted 9 different summits over the course of the year, that's this and then this and then this. It's all happening in a more condensed way. And I really do think there's multiple reasons why I'm looking forward to seeing how this new model works for me with doing the summit series, but that's one of the benefits so far is feeling like I'm managing my time a little bit better because I'm not trying to do this and this and this and this.
Yeah, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so in all of this, managing your time and everything, our health as entrepreneurs are the most important wealth that we have, isn't it? If we don't have health, we cannot generate more wealth. So how do you have any routines? Do you have some specific things that you do to stay healthy and stay focused on your health?
I love that question because I completely agree that last year was one of my most stressful years because of family stuff. And I think it had a huge impact. Plus, I turned 63 in August. So maybe it's the combination of the years passing and the stress. I've had in the last few months more weird health stuff going on. Nothing bad, just like my sleep was off, more foggy brain. I used to never have foggy brain. I'd be like, what are they talking about foggy brain? Well, I know what that is now.
You had to experience it too, so you can relate to people saying that.
Thank you. I'm so grateful for that. Anyhow, all kinds of, little things like that that impact my ability to be able to uh, contribute and function as well as possible. But interestingly enough, it also corresponds with some shift in how I've done movement. So prior to about 18 to 24 months ago, I walked every day, 20 minutes, 30 minutes every day. I walked unless it rained. And then something happened, the weather changed and my days changed and I did less. I moved into a new neighborhood and still started out walking a lot of days and then went down to 1 day a week. I mean, now walk 1 day a week. It's like, does this have something to do with all the weird stuff? Maybe. But I also do a lot. I drink a lot of water. I do breath work and stretching several
Mm.
mornings of the week. I do my own exercise routine, 20 or 30 minutes. I'll be watching a TV show and I'll do my little dance in and move my hip because I was getting stiff. Oh my
Mm,
God, I am
mm,
not used to
mm.
being stiff and not able to be fully mobile. So I am committed to getting down and up off the floor multiple times a day.
Wow.
So if you're younger, don't take advantage. I mean, be grateful for your mobility
Yeah,
and let's keep moving
yeah,
and taking
yeah.
care of ourselves. Mhm.
I think this the newer generation seems to be much more in activity again. I remember we
Mm.
were very active when we were kids, but then in the youngster times and especially study time, I wasn't that active. I was dancing, but not every day. I had like once a week or something like that. But lately, I've been very active. Every day I have to do something. But yeah, I think it's very important what you're saying. Don't take it for granted that you will always feel so, flexible and energetic, and because stiffness is definitely gonna get you. It's gonna surprise you because it does surprise me if I'm sitting too long. Suddenly I'm stiff. It's like, what is happening? This is not me. And then you put it into your routine to get up often from this chair so you don't have to feel it. But yeah, it's and you're 63. I'm not there yet. I'm not even 50 and I'm feeling the stiffness. So if you just started feeling it, I think you are in good shape. Then you are
Yeah, yeah,
definitely.
I'm grateful. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I think the walking daily is one of the keys, but maybe it's also genetics, that has a piece to it. But yeah, so I keep going, Kathryn, you got to get back into the walking every day. And I'm like, what do I need to do to get me back in there? So
yeah.
interestingly, it corresponds with when I started hosting summits too. So something happened
Mm,
in the last couple of years. Every little things have been changing. So we do not stay the same. That's all I've got to say is we're
definitely
always
not.
changing.
No, definitely not. Um, but if I can ask you, if you could either turn back time and meet yourself 20 years ago, what advice would you give yourself as a young entrepreneur, or would you rather give advice to upcoming, people who are new to business life, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs? What kind of advice would you give them?
Hmm. In thinking about what I would tell myself 20 years ago, the truth is, Richa, I don't really think anything I said would make a difference.
True. I'm thinking of the same thing. I was very stubborn then when I started, and I wanted to do it my way, or, it wouldn't happen if I didn't do it my way. Even if it was wrong, I just wanted to do it my way. So true.
And I think the lessons that I have gone through are just part of my process. So even if I could have shortcutted the lessons based on what I know now, I don't know if I could have shortcutted them, right? I just think I needed to go through them. In terms of what I would suggest to people based on conversations I've had with lots of women coaches, healers, and on purpose solopreneurs. If that's the kind of business that you have, start seeing clients. And so if you haven't started seeing clients, and this was not advice I needed. I did attract clients, and I think it's so important. And the reason why I say this is some people do it. Some people start attracting clients. They go through whatever training it is, and they're invited to attract clients as part of their training. Sometimes they don't make it over the next hump, which is getting paid clients.
Correct. Correct.
And so that's a second. So first you got to bring in people who you test, you practice with, and then you've got to bring in clients who pay you something. A lot of people will say charge what you're going to charge, what experienced people charge. A lot of people are not confident enough to do that. So I often will say, well, what are you comfortable charging that you feel like you could get paid? And, maybe it's $50 an hour or something, just tell people for the first 5 people, you can do 5 sessions with me for $50 a session because I'm building on my private practice. There's nothing wrong with that. Get clients, because if you wait until you're comfortable getting paid, $150, $200, $500 a session, if you're not already comfortable, then you may never get comfortable because you may never attract them.
Yeah.
You have to be confident in your attractability
Yeah.
at this moment in time, because you can increase your rates at any point. So it's through working with clients that you get the experience, that you know what you're doing, so that you build your confidence, so that you can take that next step and take your business to whatever the next level is. So start working with clients.
Well, yeah, I love that. I love that so much. I can see that in many of my clients. They keep on working with the product and the service, and they think, when I'm done, then suddenly the clients will be there, and it doesn't happen like that. Oh, but my clients need this. Yeah, but they're not there. They don't know that you exist. You're the best hidden secret. You know. So yeah, no, thank you so much. That is very highly needed advice. So thank you, Kathryn, so much for your time, your wisdom, and that you share your story with us and your journey with us. That is, I would really appreciate that, and I really appreciate you and all the things that you do. You are so giving. You almost, yeah, I can even feel it now through the screen. Just love your energy. So I'm very, very honored that you came today and that you shared your knowledge and wisdom with us. Thank you so much, Kathryn.
Thank you, Richa.
So everybody go and check it out, all the summits of Kathryn. Don't miss out, and follow her on her social media so that you can be updated in all the amazing activity and all that she gives, And until next time, take care, be kind to yourself and to others.